One thing about the healing and growing journey that I don't think we talk about enough, and one thing that caused me the most delay on my healing and growth journey was that forced healing often backfires. Oh, yeah. Yeah. When you force that shit, a lot of times it's going to blow up right in your face. Right in your face. Let me give you an example of mine. And this was one of the most detrimental delays for me that caused me quite a bit of ruckus, okay, along the way. However, and I really had to think about this question for a minute. And this is just me being open, honest, and vulnerable because now I teach others how to heal their nervous system. And I feel like it's only right that I tell you where that experience comes from, because while I did take classes, while I did educate myself, while I did all the research in all the different departments, 90% of my education in this department comes from personal experience. So at one point, I was the queen of I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay. I'm fine. I literally did not handle anything at all. And one very specific point is when I became pregnant with my youngest son, who's now 11, his father passed away early in my pregnancy. And then directly after that, my great grandmother passed away. And she was my idol. She was my queen my whole life. So that clearly did a number on me. However, I just continued to bury, continued to pretend that I was fine, continued to not handle the grief, the emotional, everything that came with and that all of that happened in just a couple months. So in refusing to deal with that, it caused physical damage. Like I was in and out of the hospital with my son. I almost lost him multiple times throughout the pregnancy. I did not take care of my body. I was extremely unhealthy. Afterwards, I turned to alcohol. I had incredibly bad habits and tendencies and just loops that I kept repeating and repeating and repeating over because I did not handle those things. I continued to pretend and try to convince myself that I was fine, when all reality, I was absolutely not. Okay? And that just continued to boil and boil out into all of these problems, which then spilled onto my children, which then spilled onto relationships and friendships and job. I mean, I could literally, I have a laundry list longer than Santa's as to how many problems, delays, patterns, habits, negative thoughts and tendencies, how many awful things came from me not handling those things. From me trying to force it and pretend like I was fine. In retrospect, what can you do about it? Okay, but this is another example of a lot of people that know some of the trenches that I've been through, or a lot of people that I talk to about what I'm doing now ask, well, how did you do all of this healing? And when people say shadow work, in my mind, for a long time, I thought that was sitting down, journaling like you're your own therapist, writing about every traumatic detail, and it's really not. It's really not. This today, what I just did was a perfect example of how you heal, allow yourself grace, and move forward from those things so that they don't continue to impact your life. Today, I sat down and I asked myself the question, what was one time I forced healing and it backfired? And now I've reconciled with these things before, but now seeing all of the patterns that created, consider it healed. Check. Okay, understand. Grace given. Am I proud of those things? No, but I understand why I acted that way, why I did the things I did, why I chose it, not proud of it, but I sure as hell know I'm never going to do that again. You know what I mean? So it's, and that's how we heal, and that's on healing. That's it. I just cleared a laundry list of shit off of my fucking shoulders today just by asking myself that one question. So, what's one time that you tried to force healing and it backfired?